Tube. Welcome back. Today we have this problem called longest common prefix. We solve this problem in two different ways. We have today the third one. The problem goes like that. We have a function. We want to write a functions to find the common prefix string amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, we want to return an empty string. Basically, we have this as example. We have the input, which is called strings. So the common prefix will be fl because it's appeared in all the strings. Here there is no common prefix because there is no strings that appeared in all the same in the same position for all of the strings. So a way to solve this problem, a new way to solve this problem, we could use recursion. So basically, you can start to compare the left and the right together. So first of all, we can just create a function that take left and right, and inside this left, and when we have left and right, we start to continue. We start to continue making recursive functions to compare like the right with the left, and the right with the middle, and the middle with the left also. And after that, we compare the right with the left in the end. I know it sounds complicated. I know maybe most of you didn't understand it. That's normal. I will not understand if I said that also. However, it will be way more easier for us to describe this one by code. So when it comes to solve this problem, we have a specific function. I want to create another function which will be responsible for a recursive function. So let's take the name, and I would say recursive. And left and right. Oh, what is this? Yeah, left and right. I don't know what happened. Anyway, and I have we have three arguments. What it's for? Yeah, equals function. Okay, so we have this one, and maybe you could just call it function. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, and I will have another function that will be responsible for making the checking if two strings have a common prefix or not. So common prefix, and I guess this one will take the left and the right string, left and right. And yeah, so here let's just start to think about the things. Let's just put some base cases. If the strings, if there is no strings array, or the array is empty, strs the length equals 0, we return empty string, because yeah, if there is empty string, there is no common prefix. We would return this common prefix. No, not like that, please. We will return a common prefix, and we give it the strings array. We give it the left, which will be 0 at the beginning. We give it the right, which will be strings strings dot length -1. I will have here the recursive function. I want to do something here. I want to make sure that if left or right doesn't equal, if left or right equals each other, if left equals right, basically what we're doing here, it's like the common prefix function is a core algorithm and is called recursively. It takes 3 parameters, as you can see here. Okay, it takes 3 parameters: the array of strings, the 2 indices of left or right, and representing the left and right boundaries of the current subarray being considered. If left and right are equal in this one, if left and right are equal, it means that there is only one string in the subarray, and that the string is longest common prefix if with itself. So in this case, we return functions strings.left. So if they are equals to each other, that means we only have one string. Oh no! Yeah. So return strings of left. Okay. So this is one of the cases that could occur, and we return it. So let's just do some else here. So else let's have so right now we have left and right, and we wanna like create like sub arrays from this array. So let's just and we wanna compare each two strings with each other. So let's have let left let's say that let string left. No, let's call it what? Let's just think about the call it. Just I could call it also yeah, let's call it later left, for example, or left part, or LCP part. Left part equals the longest common prefix again. I know it will sound quite not the best to read. I know. And I will have a variable called I will have the strings again. However, I will have if I'm starting from the left, I will have the left, and I have a variable called med. However, this med will get here, so I just create this med, and this med it's math.floor. It's the middle between. It's the middle between the left and right, so it will be math.floor. It will be left left plus right multiplied by 2. Okay, and we have the let the right part right part, and it will be the same here, and it will be we'll say we'll start all of them the strings, and we will have a mid but plus 1 because we're starting from mid, and we will end at right, and we will have after the left, right, and the and the left part and the right part, we want to return the common prefix, which will get the left part and the right part, left and right. And let's go to the left. Okay, if you don't understand what's going on, just be aware with me, take time, just take a breath, and we will go together and we will go through multiple examples. And I know it looks complex, but just be aware with me. Take. I know, like if you find it complex, just don't push yourself. That's normal. I will have const min also for here. Okay, so I guess this one is the complex part. This one is I'm taking two strings. The main thing is of this one is that I'm taking two strings. Okay, when I take two strings, what I'm doing basically is that first I wanna find the common prefix between these two strings. Okay, and the thing that comes here, first of all, I wanna loop through the smallest string. I could loop through the big string, but if I'm searching for the common prefix will not be ever bigger than the smallest string. So let's just find the common prefix length, which I will call min. So to be const min, it will be math dot min left dot length and right dot length. Okay, and I will say make a loop. Say for let I equals 0, I less than min, and I will say I plus plus, and I will go right now. The thing here I want to say, we're going to loop with I, which will be the I will be min, and I will going to compare each character from each these two, right and left, and make sure that they equal each other. And when they not equal each other, that means at this character the prefix has ended. So what I should do, I said that if left dot character at I doesn't equal right dot character at I wanna return left dot substring 0 and I. No, this is not 0. This is 0 and I. But if these two string are identical, or like the min one, the min or the smaller string, it's all in the string in the bigger string. So we return it directly. That means this will not run ever, so we return nothing. So what we return here, we return left dot substring from 0 to min. Okay, so let's just try to first of all describe this one, and after that let's find an example to make it way more easier for us to understand. So first we have the longest common prefix function is entry point. It checks if the input array strings is null or empty. Okay, it returns an empty string indicating that there is no common prefix among null or empty strings. Otherwise, it calls the longest common prefix recursive function with the entire array and returns its results. Okay, in the longest common prefix recursive function is the core of the algorithm and is called recursively. Because sometimes like my English doesn't help me. Give me 1 minute because it's important for me to recursively. Yeah, that's right, recursively. Okay, so the longest common prefix, this one is a function, is the core of the algorithm and it calls recursively. It takes 3 parameters, as you can see here, the array of strings and 2 indices, left and right, representing the left and right boundaries of the current subarray being considered. Number 3, we're saying here, if left and right are equal, it means there is only one string in the subarray, and that string is the longest common prefix by itself. And in this case, the function returns strings.left. However, you should also do that things because we're creating a recursive function, so we don't want these recursive functions to run forever. So when you create any recursive function, just to make sure to know what our base case is. So this is our base cases that we created. Okay, so I'm saying here, okay, so we are here. Okay, so if left and right are equal, we said that before, we are going here in the mid. So right now, if left and right are not equal, the function calculates the middle index as the average between of left and right, as you can see here. The function then recursively calls itself twice with the left side and the right side to find the longest common prefix in the left in the left of the current subarray, and this one to find the longest common prefix in the right of the current subarray. Finally, it calls the common prefix function with the results obtaining from the left and the right halves. to find these two halves, yeah, okay, and to find the common prefix between them and return the common prefix. Number 7, we have the common prefix function takes two strings, left and right, okay, and finds the common prefix between them. It iterates through the characters of both strings up to the minimum length of the two strings and returns the common prefix, okay? If no common prefix is found, it returns the entire left string, or like the smallest, yeah, we return the entire left string, or like whatever the biggest string, like we don't care. And we have the divide and conquer approach here. This could effectively and efficiently reduce the problem of finding the longest common prefix among multiple strings by breaking it down into smaller sub-problems and merging the results, resulting in a more optimized solution compared to the earlier method that I used in the loops. So let's just take an example and try to think how this example will be solved, because I guess with the example it will look way more easier to understand. So right now we have these strings. The left is 0, so let's just try to put here left equals 0 and right equals -1, so right equals 2 okay. So we're saying here, we call this function, we said that if left equals right, no, 0 and 2 doesn't equal each other. We have this mid, let's just try mid, it will be equals 0 plus 2 divided by 2, so we will have 1. So the mid will equals here 1. So when the mid 1, I'm calling this function again, and I'm putting the left, which is 0, and I am putting the mid, which is here, which is 1. So let's just take this one here, 1. Okay, so I have 0 and 1. So if the left and right equal to each other, no, they don't, to be honest, they don't equal each other. So, okay, so we have the mid here, and in this mid, we have it will equals 1. There is something wrong with my approach. I guess I will never reach with something here. Let me run before I try to discuss. Yeah, there's something wrong with my approach. I just have seen it. What is the wrong thing here? There's something wrong here. So mid plus 1, and I have left and mid, and I have returns 0 and I, and I return the common prefix, and okay. So I should return this one. I was searching for something weird. Let's submit. Okay, it worked. Okay, so let's just try to go back. Okay, so right now where we are. Okay, so we are in the second. We are here, and so basically the left, we have the left and mid, and the right will be 1. So we're going right now. We have here left and right, and it will be the floor. So it will be also we go to the 0. So after that we have this one. We got the last left, which will be the right, and the mid. Let me just go here, and we go here with the right, which will be flow at the beginning, and we try to compare them, and we go to this one. And when you compare them, and you just try to find if L O, and you just flow, you stop at the W. Okay. The interesting thing here, we want to loop 4 times, and when we loop 4 times, the if statement doesn't return anything, because they equal each other for each character. So when this is finished, however, we have this one return, and we return left substring 0 and from min. So we basically will return here. And also it will work also if this one, it doesn't matter which one, because the min is it's guaranteed to be at least for the length of the smallest, so it will equals each other. So we go back to compare these two things together. I will just recommend you to just take your time with this approach, because this approach is not the easiest approach to think about. Any recursive approach is quite hard. So I struggle sometimes to describe the recursive approach. So basically what we're doing here, that when you have this flow thing, is that you make sure that first you don't have the left and right doesn't equal each other. That means we don't have the left string, because if you have the left string, that means you are the end. So this is the end one. And when you start here, you start to do in the left side, and you start to found the common prefix in the left side, and after that find the common prefix on the right side, and after that you compare the left and the right. So basically what you do here, let's just take this an example again. Sorry, I'm taking too much time, but like this problem needs to take time to describe, because otherwise it will be really hard to understand. So first I'm starting, this will be the left and this will be the right, okay, as you can see here. And after that we have the mid. It will be the left and right divided by 2. So for example here it will be like 1 and 2 divided by 2, 1, just a 0 and 1, yeah, I don't know how much it will be. It will be we have the 0 plus 2, it will be 1. The mid will be 1, and the left will be oh shit, there is construction work outside. I'll just close the window. Give me a minute. Yes. So we have the mid, it's equals 1 here. So when the mid equals 1, we call it in the left part first, because we want to know how the prefix of the left part. So we call a recursive function, so we call the common prefix again. However, we put the mid as the right. So right now right equals, instead of right equals 2, right equals 1. Okay, so when right equals 1 and left still equals 0, I would say they equals each other? No, they do not equal each other. So okay, no problem. So first make the mid equals 1 divided by 2 and met the floor, so the mid will equal 0. Oh, it's important. This is important. Just to be aware with this part. Okay, so min equals 0. For this part, when we call it, that means the left was 0, and the right will be 0. Okay, so what we're doing, we return a string that left. So we're returning flower. So after that, we return flower. Okay, we have this right now, and right is mid 0. Okay, and when this return flower, we go back. If you remember, we had one, like when you go recursive functions, you have like, we call this one, and this one called, and this one called this again, and when this one called this again and executed something, we have this one from the second previous function is called again. It sounds too complex, but just give it time. I know it sounds too complex, but just give it time. So what we have here, this longest common prefix, and right now it will be looking at sorry. So we have the mid plus 1 and right. The mid right now not equals 0, because the 0 has been returned. We are in the previous function, so the mid is equals 1. So the mid of 1, we have mid plus 1 and right. Mid plus 1 is 2, okay, and right was 2, so they equals each other. So we return flight. We'll return this one. Okay, so right now we start beginning with this left and this right. We run this common prefix, and the common prefix try to find the common prefix between them. So we have the FL. Okay, so the common prefix right now will be the FL that we're returning. Okay, this is the common prefix between them. And for the longest common prefix from the back further first function will return only fl. Okay, just be aware with me, take time, sorry for that, take time. We'll return fl, and after that we have the right one here, which will be returning the middle, which will be flow, which will you call it, we'll compare it with fl. I know it sounds complex, but just give it time, So, and after that, this one will be fixed. And I know the recursive problems all the time quite hard to understand. It's one of the most hardest thing to understand. But just give it time and give yourself times to understand this problem. Anyway, this was my description of this problem. I hope you like my content. I hope you like my description. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problems.